Hello, hola. In this travelogue, we're going to look at beaches again. It's a beautiful place there. Down in the Mayan Riviera, the beaches and the scuba diving, world of class scuba diving. And we're going to look at the carnival. I met a young woman one time from Latin America. And I asked her, and she had married a Canadian and lived in Canada. And I said, well, what do you think of Canadians? And she said that, you know, they're fine, they're good, they're great, all those things. But she said, I'll tell you one thing about a Canadian. They don't know how to party. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, down in her home place, they party every night of the week, practically. They sing, they dance, there's music, they visit, they carouse, they have a good time on a continual basis. Whereas she said that Canadians, maybe it was the cold weather in the country where people stay in more, but her claim was, by comparison to the Latin Americans, Canadians don't know how to party. So, while we're down in the Mayan Riviera in Cozumel there, the carnival, the annual carnival came along. So that's another thing that we'll look at in this travelogue. Okay, let's go take a look at the scuba diving, the beaches again, and some of the carnival celebration time. The big tourist areas here are Cancun, Cozumel, and Playa del Carmen. Here are a few pictures, mostly of Playa del Carmen, but they all offer similar great beaches. Sun chairs like these are available at most of the beaches. They're not necessarily free. You can rent them, though, in most beaches. We enjoyed taking a dip in the warm, clear waters of the Caribbean. You can pick sandy beaches or you can pick more rocky beaches. Both are great because, mainly, the water is great. Now, if you're in Cozumel, stay out of the way of those big cruise ships. You can go fishing, or you can go parasailing if you're braver than me, and paddleboarding if you're younger than me. All of these are available. It is indeed a long way from those historic times when Cortez was here, when the smallpox reduced the population from 10,000 to a few hundred, and a little later when people had to flee to the mainland because of the many pirate attacks. Getting on or in the water is one thing. Getting under the water is a whole other experience. I joined a crowded boat and tried snorkeling, and it was just great. Next time, I'll go scuba diving. These coral reefs are second in size only to the Great Barrier Reef of Australia, but both reefs are suffering from hurricanes and other natural environmental changes. Damage occurs due to in part, too much suntan lotion, cruise ship diesel, and other human pollutants being dumped into the ocean. The underwater coral reefs are huge, colorful, and diverse. They form when organisms called coral polyps secrete thin layers of calcium carbonate, which eventually builds up over time over the developing skeleton as it grows, and forms inorganic structures that we call coral reefs. The reefs become rich habitats for all kinds of sea life. Coral reefs are truly the forests of the sea. One of the instructors told me you need lessons and an instructor just to figure out the equipment. He said you needed to know how to deal with an out-of-air emergency situation, like how to still get air without begging the fish for help. Note the size of the scuba diver on the right side of this photo and compare his size to that of the rock area he is exploring. The instructor told me that you need to know what to do if your regulator gets knocked out of your mouth, or maybe you lose your mask. You need to know when to let your equipment stay lost, come back and find it later, or just add it to the expense column. But few accidents actually happen. He made it sound exciting and easy, all right. He also pointed out a few things not to do, like keep your hands to yourself, just like Mama said first time she took you to the store. Look but don't touch. Next, keep off the bottom and protect the environment. Don't harass the fish. You're not the god of the sea. Also, leave your underwater light photography off. And don't swim around like you're blind, he said, bumping into corals, rocks, and even other people. The undersea coral reef is not just your personal playground. I suppose his main point, above all, was know your limits. Don't extend yourself, don't go too deep, and don't come up too fast. It all sounds like a piece of cake to me. Next time, I just have to try it. You can tell the carnival is coming. Its waterfront or malecon is decorated. Bleachers are set up everywhere. The parade is repeated on several nights. The whole community gets involved, and people from the whole area come for the celebrations. The carnival here in Cozumel is apparently one of the older ones in all of Mexico. The idea of carnival was brought here by the Spaniards. Though horse and carriage rides occur primarily for cruise ship tourists, nevertheless, all business increases during the carnival. There were numerous smaller street parades like this one, but the big parade occurred every night. Business picked up everywhere, and everything seemed to be abuzz. Everyone was happy, friendly, and helpful. It seemed like everybody was too busy having a good time to even pay attention to those few of us who were tourists in the crowd. I asked this clerk at the museum to take a photo with me, and she happily obliged. Everyone waited for the night parade to start. During those times, we never saw a single policeman. Neither did we see a single instance of drunken or out-of-control behavior. We never got a whiff of marijuana or any other drug. I took some of these photographs of people sitting along the sidewalk, along the route of the parade, waiting for it to start. Here is the parade. The 3-day non-stop carnival time was one of singing, visiting, dancing, and music. Car horns tooted and loudspeakers were at full volume. Here are some more pictures of the parade. Enjoy. Another thing that I was unaware of, and that is everyone in the world is addicted to cell phones. I thought we overdid it at home, but if the Mexico I saw is any indication, cell phones are unbelievably numerous. Like at home, they appear to be a technology that is here to stay. Another huge celebration is the Day of the Dead, in which the living can reconnect with those deceased. It's a time of family gatherings, cemeteries are decorated, and candles lit to call home lost souls. It has nothing to do with the notion of Halloween. Families gather in homes and cemeteries. Remembering the dead is not seen as a time for being sad, solemn, or grieving. In contrast, it is upbeat. It's a spiritual time to connect with those no longer here. It is a colorful and uninhibited celebration. Well, as you can see, things change over the centuries. It's been a long time since the fearful days of pirates and disease struck people in this area. It's a completely changed time, and it's a great time, and we're coming back. And but in the meantime, we're going to other places. So hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified. We'll see you at the next stop. Adios.